How can you achieve success in your life? How can you become a millionaire? How can you win a gold medal in Olympics? How can you quit smoking? Or how can you lose weight in a month? Wow, that's a lot of how can questions. These tasks might seem a giant in your eyes, but what if I tell you achieving them requires very tiny changes in your habits? Do not worry, I'm not going to get motivational. Actually, I'm going to talk something psychological. In this video, I'm going to share my thoughts. Actually, I'm not going to share my thoughts. I'm going to actually share some lessons that I learned from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. Before I start, I want to thank my friend Anita who gifted me this book. To be honest, I was quite disappointed when I received it because I have never been a fan of self help books. Uh, I believe that the only person who can truly motivate me is me. But this book changed my perception. As I previously said, this book is not motivational. It's more of a scientific approach of changing your habits. Now, speaking of habits, if you have watched interviews of successful entrepreneurs who have made millions or successful actors who have transformed their physique, they talk about habits like waking up early, reading books, making smart financial decisions, or eating calorie deficit diet. Now, this book doesn't provide you a blueprint or a roadmap to achieve success or to earn millions or to lose weight in a month. Instead, this book shares with you some tips and tricks on how to eat healthy, on how to wake up early, or how to start building a new habit. So, without further ado, let me tell you some of the lessons that I learned from this book. First, let's talk about the plateau of latent potential. This concept is very crucial in 2024, where we are used to instant results. From instant coffee to same day deliveries, we live in a world of immediate gratification. Now imagine this, you plant a seed and you water it every day. You water it for a week, nothing happens. You water it for another week, still nothing happens. You water it for 2 more weeks, now almost a month, still nothing happens. And then one day you find a tiny leaf sprouting from the ground. That is the idea here. We could find a lot of people around us who take up a 30-day weight loss challenge. What they would do is, the most probable thing they would do is sign up for a gym membership or any other physical athletic activity. So they would work out hard for the first 30 days, and on the 31st day, when they step on that weighing machine, for some of them the weight would still be the same. They would obviously feel demotivated and quit the process. But this is the point where you must not give up. These small, consistent habits that you keep doing will one day give you immense results. Remember, it takes millions or thousands of years for two tectonic plates to rub against each other. I mean, for millions or thousands of years, they rub against each other to create that massive earthquake or tsunami someday. So that's the idea here. Don't get discouraged if you don't see immediate results and just keep going. Next, let's talk about making specific plans. It's all about getting super clear of what you want to do and when you want to do it. If you just say, I want to study for my exam that starts next month, it's not going to work out. Instead, you have to say, I will study every Monday, Friday, and Wednesday at 5 p.m. every day this whole month. Now, this is all about getting super clear of what you want to do. It's like making an appointment with yourself. Instead of saying, you want to eat healthier, just say, I will eat salad for lunch at 12 p.m. every day. So, here, by making a clear plan, you know exactly what to do and what you need and when you have to do it. So, this will make the process easier. Now, let's talk about habit stacking. The method here is to link an older habit to a newer habit. The idea is to pick a habit you regularly do and pair it with a one you want to build. For instance, let's suppose that you want to read more books. So you can stack it with your morning coffee routine. So every day, after you make your cup of coffee, sit down and read a few pages. By this, you're creating a chain of events, like, after this I have to do this, after this habit I have to do the fourth habit. So this way you build a chain of events that will eventually start to flow naturally. So that's the idea here. Now let's talk about how much your environment matters when you want to build newer habits. Imagine you want to eat healthy, but your kitchen is full of junk food. Now the process is going to get really difficult. So what you have to do is you have to clear your fridge by putting away all the junk food away and filling it with fruits and vegetables. By this, you are creating an environment that will make you to eat healthy. The author gives an example for to how to read more books. The author says that place books everywhere. Place it in your kitchen, place it on your coffee table, place it in your bedroom, place it even in the bathroom. That's what he says. So by this, you create an environment which will naturally induce you to read more. That's the idea here again. As kids, we were so excited about holidays. I still remember how during the month of November I would check the calendar every day, counting down the days until Diwali. Similarly, habit tracking can be satisfying and motivating. For instance, let's suppose that you want to start a practice of meditation. So set a goal of meditating 5 minutes a day. Once you've hit that goal, once you finish the 5 minutes of meditation, go to your calendar and mark that date. Now this might sound satisfying for a lot of people. This tracking will help you keep motivated, and it will make you want not to break the streaks, just like the streaks we don't want to break on Snapchat. So habit tracking can be so satisfying and actually can be motivating, just like a game, where you don't want to lose the streaks. So this is a good idea again. Now, all of this is not going to work if you think yourself as an unhealthy person, or a person who makes poor financial decisions, or a person who hates books. So this is not work out if you're not going to change the way you see yourself. Let's suppose that you see yourself as an extravagant who spends a lot of money. So this will eventually or psychologically lead you to spend money on unnecessary things. But instead, if you look at yourself as a person who values money or who saves money, you're not going to do it. Let's take this example. Whenever you're tempted to buy that extra gray t-shirt or the 20th lipstick that's there on your Amazon cart, just think, would a person who values saving would make this purchase? Then you're definitely not going to do it. Again, if you want to lose weight, if you're on a process of losing weight and you find yourself at a restaurant, just ask yourself, what would a healthy person eat? Would he eat french fries or salad? Then you're going to make healthy choices. Finally, it all comes to boredom. That's the end point. It's all about doing the same work again and again and again. Now, imagine that you are going for the gym every morning at 5 p.m. for one whole year. You have attained your goal and everything. Now, most probably some of the people would get bored and quit. But the author says here that it's all about doing the same thing again and again and again, lifting the same weights again and again and again. So that's the idea here. You should not just give up just because something is boring. You have to keep going in order to keep yourself as a successful person. What I love about this book is that the language is so simple. It's just like talking to a friend. The author does not advise us, or he does not get preachy. Instead, he tells us things in a very familiar way that we can understand. It's more like a nudge of doing things. So that's what I felt special about this book. It was not like go do this, go do that, you can do it, or you are the energy or secret or whatever it is. But this book was quite scientific, and it convinces you to do things. That's the specialty of this book. And also, this book would be a great suggestion if you want to give someone for their birthday or any celebration. And also, of course, if you read this book, it's definitely going to change your life, at least in a small way. Finally, it's not about cutting down a big oak tree with a massive hammer with one blow, but it's all about, choosing a small axe and giving one strike after another, and which will one day make the oak tree fall down. So that's what this book is all about. And environmental lovers, I'm sorry for the example. Thank you.